Alrighty. All right. Both going live here. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Good afternoon. No, it's definitely evening. Yeah, it's definitely evening. Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? Thanks so much for coming to tonight's class. And if you were in the previous class, well, thanks for coming over again. I really feel like both the classes back to back complement each other since the yin you get those very deep openings, and then for the slow flow that comes on after. It ties together with the class, as you know, as well as making it a little easier for you to kind of open up and move up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to play music off of my phone. I played it late in the last class, so apologies if that kind of scared you a little bit, or if it conflicted or not conflicted with your own music at home. But hopefully we'll be able to hear the music on this phone. All right. So I'm gonna have my phone on the side so I can make sure I keep in track of time. But as we start to get settled on here, to make sure that we have a strap with us today. And you can use anything at home, scarf. I'm using my exercise, a jump rope, just to make it a little more fun and creative. You can bring a blanket, bring in a pillow. It doesn't have to be this small. It could be any size that you would like. You're the ones that want to find comfort in here tonight. So grab anything that's comfortable, pillow-wise. If you have blocks, I would bring blocks. I would bring two if you have two blocks at your house. And I know for a lot of us, we might not be able to have that resource for ourselves, but lucky for you, most people have chairs. And a chair can be a good replacement and using the bottom. I bring in my chair, but I'm using it for the webcam over here. But I got my blocks, so I'm kind of set on that. And it looks like somebody said a chat. Oh, hi, Celeste. Good evening. Yes, Arch, it's her buddy, the one that loves you. She's on here. Good. So, in this morning's class, what we worked with Uttista Hasta Padangusthasana. What the heck did I just say? Well, what I said was we worked with the asana that is an extended. Oh, I gotta come a little closer to the cameras a little. Making sure that you see just a little bit more here. Just a little bit. Perfect. So, Uttista Hasta Padangusthasana, say that 5 times fast. Extended hand to big toe. I'm stuttering right now, but essentially what that looks like is we're going to work on a balance pose where we're going to stretch out through our front leg and extending our leg outward so that we can get a good hamstring stretch underneath the extended leg, that we have a good sounding structure to our bottom leg, strengthening through our ankles, strengthening through our quads and our core to keep us up more aligned here. And that is going to essentially be our peak pose today. And we're going to do a slow flow where we can work a little bit with the lower hemisphere, meaning being on our spines, and then working on it from a standing position. So if you were here in the morning class, you are going to see some similarities, but it's perfect because you should be experts now from the first class, and I need to be like, okay, I'm going to go all out and try it again tonight. So welcome again to the extended hand to big toe. Cool. So strap, blanket, pillow, got blocks. We're going to slowly move through this tonight. All great stretches here. So then for the beginning of class, go ahead and if you have your comfy pillow, you can go ahead and place it to the top of the mat where your head would be. I would have your blanket a little bit the long way so that you can get support of your lower spine. So your sacrum and your lower spine. Having your strap nearby. Good. And coming into a nice comfortable position onto our back here. Good. And as we are on our back, we're just going to start to hug our knees in here and very gently just start to either find stillness or maybe rock side to side. Whatever is easiest for you to find this sense of grounding here as we connect our spine to the mat. So a reminder that this is a slow flow class, so we won't go through a whole lot of traditional vinyasas and go through many forms of asanas. We're just going to take it nice and slow and take the time to be more explorative with our alignment here. Good. So as we begin to familiarize ourselves onto the mat, just kind of closing your eyes here. Good. Allowing yourself to find your breath into the practice. Good. And I wanted to read a section of my daily wisdom book that is by Susanna Rubin. And specifically, for today's class, we're going to be needing to focus a lot on our dristi. That's our Sanskrit word for our focused gaze, meaning finding a section of the room where we can find the focus so we can stay nice and strong, concentrated, and balanced as we go through our balancing poses. And in old meditations, they used to use a lit flame or candle to bring their dristi to. They will close their eyes and take their eye gaze into the center of their eyeballs, which is your third eye area space. So in between your eyebrows, I should say, so a little higher up. And in other forms, like in Zazen, that's a meditation where our focused gaze is in front of a white blank wall. And so today you get to pick whatever you would like for your focused gaze and allow yourself to meditate with your eyes open. So as we embrace the world through our eyes, we all receive the visual information that is presenting itself to us right now. So go ahead and take it in. And take the things, the spaces, and in between the things, take the lights and the shadows. So let the world's visual abundance offer itself to you as the universe is giving you this gift. So notice the layers of the detail that you may often overlook, or maybe gaze upon the infinite textures and colors of whatever is around you. So today, let's dedicate our entire mental focus to a visual exploration of what we see in front of us, and let yourself marvel at it. And as we go through these asanas, just allow your sense of wonder to extend to everything that exists, including yourself. And just take it in appreciation for this visual world. And we can go ahead and start this practice by taking a deep inhale. Palms are up towards the ceiling, meeting our hands into the prayer hands, knees are still. And then exhale, bring the palms to the heart center so that you can fully center yourself and set an intention for your practice today. Good. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and hug the right knee in and place the left foot onto the ground. So as we place the left foot onto the ground, we're just going to hug the right knee in towards our chest and maybe get it more towards the right shoulder so you can get that good hip opening. So if you were here in the class before, you probably feel all loose and goose into your hip sockets from those amazing butterflies and lizard and pigeon poses that we had fun with. So as we extend the right knee more towards the right shoulder, we're going to lift it up towards your chest and very gently take it over to the left shoulder. So now we're kind of in keeping the right hip to the mat. A great analogy that you can use, which I heard from Virginia's classes, so this might be familiar with y'all as well, is she likes to imagine a pocket, like a little back pocket from like jeans, and making sure that that pocket stays onto the mat as we find the stretch into our hip hinge. And so let's find that same aspect of making sure that we try to keep that pocket glued to the mat as we bring the knee a little more towards the left side. So we can thank Virginia for that very helpful tip. And you can very gently start to create a little bit of circles here into the knee, opening up a little bit more. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and place the hands behind the thigh and inhale, straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling. Okay, just to stretch more into the hamstrings. And then we can go ahead and straighten out through the left leg. Keeping both the feet flexed, toes flexed, left heel into the mat, right heel up. Good. And maybe we could take the hands a little lower onto the thigh that's near our glutes so we can have more of a hip hinge as we hug the quads and bring the knee closer towards your chest. You then go ahead and start to bend at the knee. Place your right arm to the T. Tuck your left hip underneath your right. And then inhale, coming into a twist. Taking your eye gaze over your right shoulder. We want to make sure that both of our shoulders are onto the mat. And we're taking these deep breaths here to stretch through the spine. Find a good elongation. Two more breaths. Very gently inhale and release the leg. Bringing it back to the center, tucking the hips. Good. And from here, we can start to rebend at the left foot, placing the left foot back onto the mat. And we can grab our strap here. And place the strap around our ankle bone and straighten the leg again. And guiding the foot close to our body. So bringing the thigh close to our chest. Our shoulders are onto the ground. Good. We can then go ahead and start to walk our hands to the strap and point our toe towards our face. And then from here, you can go ahead and attempt to grab onto your big toe. And you can keep your left knee bent so that it can make it a little easier for us. So this is a great hamstring stretch. So this is going to be a little bit of a challenge here. And it's okay if we have a soft bend into the right knee. And once you feel comfortable, you can then go ahead and start to straighten up through the left leg. And if you still have that bend into the leg, like that's okay. We don't expect perfect legs if we can't grab onto our toes. So if you can't grab onto your toes, that's okay. Just guide your hand as close as you can to your foot. Because eventually, with that straight leg, you will meet your hand to the toes. So if you can't grab your toe, that's okay. Just grab as close as you can towards the foot. Two more breaths. We're going to extend the left arm to the T and either hand to the strap or to the big toe. Engage the quad. We're going to inhale. Slowly start to bring that right leg towards the right side of the room. Keeping the right shoulder onto the ground. So if it helps, you can place your left hand onto the left hip so it stays onto the ground. And this is a deep opening. So if you're like, okay, I need some extra support, you got your blocks. Or you can bring your pillow and at least place it underneath the thigh if you need some assistance so that you can grab onto your toe. Or at least have the strap closer to your foot. And spreading your feet apart, keeping everything engaged from your quads, the front of your shin. 2 more breaths. Good, and next inhale. You're going to inhale, rise, straighten that right leg back up towards the ceiling. And if you wanted to, you can exchange the toe or exchange the strap if the strap is close to your foot or if your hand is close to your foot. Straighten the leg and very gently start to bring the left leg, right leg towards the left side, but we're not going to twist at the spine. We're just getting a good stretch into the IT band, but hand to big toe style, keeping your right arm to the T. And this one's a little bit of a challenge here. So I'm going to stay here for just 3 breaths, engaging the quads, pushing the foot towards the ceiling as we're straightening the leg. Good. Bring it back towards the sky and very gently bend the knee in. Good. And bend the left knee in. And go ahead and hug both knees in. Inhale, knee to nose for 3 breaths. Tailbone towards the back of the mat and the ground. Good. And then very slowly release and go ahead and rock side to side here. And then this time we're going to place the right foot onto the mat and inhale, bend the left knee to your chest. As we bend the left knee to the chest, you're going to go ahead and guide the knee towards your towards your left shoulder. Making sure that the left foot is flexed and the right foot is pressing into the ground. Actually, just not too hard where your hips come up to the ground. Just want to make it nice and active. And on the next breath, you can inhale, start to guide the left knee towards the right shoulder. Not twisting, though, keeping that pocket onto the mat. And then you can go ahead and very gently start to create some circles with your knee socket, making sure that our hips stay in place onto the mat. And breathing through the movements. And then you can go ahead and reverse the rotation. And then after you're done rotating through the legs, you can then go ahead and straighten the left leg towards the ceiling, foot is flexed, and take the hands behind the thigh and firmly grasp it towards the bottom of the thigh so that it's more towards the hip hinge here, or the hip hinge is in front, but you know what I mean, so that we're not putting pressure onto the knee. Getting a greater hinge to the hips, flex the toes, and inhale. Start to guide the knee towards your chest, and once you feel confident, you can then start to straighten up through the right leg. And we might lose a little bit of some motion or some range of motion when we straighten out the right leg, and that's normal. Engage the quad, push the foot up, 2 more breaths. And then we're going to bend the knee back into our chest. Bring the left arm to the T. We're going to tuck our right hip underneath the left, coming into a supine twist. So if you need a block to support, you can go ahead and bring that here. And just bring your left arm to cactus arm or T. Just making sure that the shoulder is touching the ground, and if it's not, that means we're twisting too much, that we need to lift our knee a little higher. Both feet are flexed. 3 more breaths. All right, so on the next breath, we're going to inhale very gently. Guide the knee back up. We square through our hips. Take the strap, rebend the right leg, and then place the strap onto your left ankle bone. You know what to do. Straighten out the leg here and straighten out through the right leg. Good. And as we find ourselves straight here, engaging through the quads, you can walk your hands as close as you can towards the foot, and it's okay if we can't grab onto our big toe. So you either grab onto the big toe or at least have your hand as close to the strap, or the hand as close to the foot as you can on the strap. Staying here for 3 breaths. Engaging through the left quad, actively bringing the feet apart from one another. Good. And after the 3 breaths, you can either guide the hand to big toe or the strap to the left side. 5 breaths. Good, then inhale. Bringing the hand to toe or strap to the ceiling. Good. And then grabbing the right hand to big toe or at least the strap, bringing your left arm to your cactus, and inhale, diagonally bring the left leg to the right side, not coming into a twist. Stretching out through the IT band, staying here for 3 breaths. This is intense, so we're only staying here for 3. Engage the quads, engage the glutes. Good, and very slowly bring your leg up and rebend the knee. Good job. Go ahead and hug your knees in. Take a couple breaths. Those were a bit intense. So go ahead and rotate through the ankles. And then from here, we're going to bend and inhale, bring knees to nose for 5 breaths. Root the tailbone towards the mat. And then grabbing out to your feet and coming into happy baby pose, rooting the tailbone, knees going in towards the shoulders. You can either stay in the traditional happy baby pose, or if you would like to rock side to side, you can go ahead and provide some movement here. Keeping the feet nice and flexed. Chest is lifted so that we can straighten out through the spine. Tailbone to the ground. Good. And we can go ahead and crisscross the left leg over the right leg, bringing the knees in towards our chest and grabbing onto the outer edges of our feet. Good. So Gomu Mukhasana legs. Good. 2 more breaths. And then inhale, rotate the feet with the right knee is on top this time. Good. And then grab to the outer edges. Knee is towards our chest, tailbone towards the ground. Wherever you're at, 3 breaths. Looking at the hips. Yeah. And you go ahead and release. Shake out the ankles. And go ahead and crisscross your ankles and do 5 rolls onto your spine until you come onto your seating area, giving your spine a massage. And then once you have reached a 5th, you can go ahead and roll all the way onto all 4s here. You go ahead and reposition yourself if you need to. And as you come into your all 4s, coming into some cat-cow positions, inhaling, scooping your chest up, tailbone up into cow. Then exhale, bending at the shoulders and the spine, coming into cat. And go ahead and continue to find these spinal movements for the next few breaths, moving organically at your own pace, your own breath, whatever feels the best for you at this moment. Went and shed some more light into the room. Good. And if you wanted to as well, you can bring some hips side to side as if you're trying to touch shoulder to hip. Good. Coming into neutral spine, walk your hands forward, coming into an upward face or a puppy pose, excuse me. So extended puppy pose. Arms are forward, chest towards the ground. And from here, we're running the tailbone up towards the sky. Pressing your hands, scrubbing them forward to get deeper into the shoulders, chest towards the ground. Three more breaths. And inhale, shift forward, coming into Sphinx pose. Bring your hips to the ground, toes to the ground. Inhale, scooping your chest forward. At the same time, you're scrubbing your hands forward to help lift through the chest here. Chest is forward, hands scrubbing forward, shoulders away from the ears. Good. Getting deeper into the chest. On your next breath, inhale, straighten out through the arms into seal pose. Chest is forward, toes towards the back of the room, active. And then exhale, release, stomach to the ground. Bring in your hands underneath your armpits here. Shoulders are back. Inhale, come into cobra. And then exhale, release. I'm going to curl the toes. Inhale, supported plank onto the knees. Bending the knees generously. Take your tailbone up into downward facing dog. And pedal out your legs. One ankle at a time to the ground. Good. Bending the knees generously, eye gaze forward, either hop, step, or walk into your Uttanasana, your forward fold. And in this forward fold, let's go ahead and spread our knees a little further apart, or our feet a little further apart here, just a little bit. You don't want a great wide-legged forward fold. And just start to press your hands into the ground. And if you don't have as deep of a range here, you can always grab a block or two here to press your hands into the ground to assist your tailbone up more towards the sky. And this helps us stretch out more through the back and through the hamstrings so that we're not just rounding. We're creating more of that hip hinge here. Good. 3 more breaths. So actively engage the quads with the kneecaps. Find more of a hinge here to your hips, chest forward. Good. Then inhale, find that half lift. And then exhale, forward fold. You're going to bend the knees generously. Good. And then take your arms forward like you would in chair. So we got kind of like a goddess legs here. The toes are pointed forward. You're bringing your arms open here. Good. Engage the booty, bring it out a little bit, engage the core. 3 more breaths. Good. Engage the core, inhale, rise all the way up, 5-pointed star. Good. And then hop the feet, hip length apart, coming into chair pose, exhale. And then round through the spine, hip hinge forward fold, inhale, half lift, think cow spine. And then exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees generously. Inhale, coming into chair, and then rising all the way up into high mountain, low back bend if you wish. And then palms together, exhale, release. Go ahead and shake the hips out side to side a little bit, bending up the knees. Good. And then coming back up, back bend, really stretching your arms towards the ceiling and towards the back of the room. And then hip hinge, hands to the ground. Good. From here, let's go ahead and take the right leg back into running lunge. Come into spinal twist, right arm towards the ceiling. Left leg back, running lunge, right arm towards the ceiling. Good. And then from here, exhale, release. Bring in the right hand to the inside the right foot. Walk the right foot out into a lizard pose, either keeping your leg straight, or if you'd like to, you can bend the left knee down, top of the left foot, and guide the right knee towards the right pinky toe, opening up through the hip, lifting up through the spine here. Good. 3 more breaths. If you wanted to go deeper, you can go deeper. Good. Straightening out through the arms, walking the right foot to the inside. And then from here, engage the core and rise up into your Anjaneyasana, so your low lunge. Good. And then curl the left toes, engage the core, and inhale, half split, surfer style, bringing the arms back, right toes towards the ceiling. Find that drishti, concentrate. And then inhale, Anjaneyasana. Good. And then bringing your hands to the mat, lift up through the left knee, bringing the right foot back, vinyasa flow if you wish. Any back bend of your choice here. And you can come into a downward facing dog. Pedal out through the ankles, through the hips. And if you're going to bend the knees generously, take the eye gaze forward, hop, step, walk, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold. Bending at the knees, bring your arms up. Inhale, rise into chair and lift up through your heels. Engage the core. Good. Go ahead and find your drishti. Keep your heels risen and all the way up to high mountain. And then we're through the heels, exhale, hip hinge, forward fold. Good, and then this time we're gonna bring the right leg back, running lunge. Flat right palm, inhale, rise, left arm towards the ceiling. Twist. And one more breath. And then exhale, release, left hand to the inside of the left foot. Walk your left foot into the lizard foot, towards the left side of the mat, open up the left knee towards the pinky toe, and you know what to do from here. Either keep the right leg lifted or drop it on top of the right foot. 5 breaths. Either arms up or maybe coming onto your forearms. You have your blocks too if you'd like to use them. Any variation works for here. Just count your 5 breaths. And after your 5th breath, you straighten out through the arms if they were bent and walk your left foot in between your palms. Good. And then engage to the core, eye gaze forward, arms up, come into your Anjaneyasana. The chest is lifted, you're nice and strong. Good. And then as we exhale, release, or actually on our next inhale, I'm going to inhale, send the arms back, come into a half split, flex through the left foot. If you need to curl the right toes, you can do that to support yourself. Silver surfer style. Good, again, a good hamstring stretch into the left leg. 3 more breaths. Find your drishti. Good. Gauge the core, and then inhale, come back to your Anjaneyasana. And then exhale, release, hands to the ground. Lift up through the right knee, and then send your left leg back. Shake out the hips, pedal out the knees. Vinyasa flow, if you wish, to any back bend of your choice. Coming into downward facing dog, pedaling out through the legs. Bending the knees generously, take your eye gaze forward and either hop, step, or walk into your Uttanasana, forward fold. Half lift. forward fold, and then rise all the way up into your high mountain, and then release. Go ahead and take a drink of water if you need it. Sponsored by Adventure Rock. Yeah. All right. So as you take your drink of water, you can go ahead and find your funnest strap, whatever your strap is at home. And I recommend being close to a wall too. So if you have a wall nearby, you could go ahead and say hello to it. I'm gonna try to use the pole as my wall. Let's see how that goes. So it might help if we have our blocks as well. I'm just gonna give you a few pointers on different ways that we can get into our hand to big toe and ways to stretch out our hamstrings to prep for it. So if I'm going to pretend that this ottoman is a desk or a dresser. And if you have a desk or something nearby and you have your blocks or a chair, you can grab your blocks and place it on top of it. So this is one way that we can prep for this pose. I'm not going to do it for the rest of the class. I'm just doing it for this one time so that you can use it for yourself at home. But what you could do is you can go ahead and place the strap around your ankle bone, and you can place the foot extended out onto your blocks, making sure that our leg is straight and that our hips are square. And you want the blocks to be high enough where you get a good stretch into your hamstrings without feeling yourself being seized or that you're feeling extremely tight. You just want enough where you're getting that good stretch in. And a good way to prep for this, and so if you don't have this desk, we can go to a wall right now and place our foot onto a wall nice and flat so that we can all work through this together. So you can either do it by the block or you can do it by the wall. We're doing the same thing. And then from here, now we did the same thing on our spine, and now we're going to go ahead and do it standing up. So as we're doing it standing up here, you go ahead and start to engage through the calf, engage through the left quad. The right leg is the one that's lifted here. In case I didn't specify a leg, I realized that I kind of skipped the step that I wanted to do, but we can go back to it. It's okay. So from here, we want to find that squaring through the hips, nice and strong with the dominant left leg, keeping the left hip in. We're going to inhale, lead with the chest forward as we come into a hip hinge. Bringing our right hand as close to the foot as we can. And if we can grab onto the big toe, go ahead and grab it. And just bring your left arm to the teeth. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths because we are supported. We should have a wall nearby us. We're all in a room. So go ahead and do this for a total of 5 breaths. You can do the same thing with the foot on the blocks too, and you can do that with dressers or desks or a counter space. Keeping this asana, we're going to go ahead and open up more towards the left side and point our left toes in front of us. So we're kind of going into a little bit of a hip rotation here. It's more of an abduction of our body. As we start to twist to the left side, our left toes should follow. So it's like we're looking straight here, and our leg is to the side, our right leg. And from here, you can walk your hand close to your right toe, or you can grab onto it and keep your left arm to the teeth. So now we're opening up more from the inside of our hip instead of forward. 3 breaths here. Find the quad engagement, lifting up through the kneecaps. Good. And very gently, as we start to twist back towards our foot, let's walk the left foot as well into that neutral position. And we can go ahead and very gently release the right leg. And we can go ahead and shake out through the hips. So that was just a way that we can balance ourselves, because we're going to practice on each side without it too. But again, kind of repeating myself here, but we can use block on top of an ottoman if we're really tight, or if we can extend our leg more, you can use the block method on top of a counter space or desk, and you can add the blocks if you would like more height to it. It's the same exact thing that we're doing on the wall, except this helps us guide us a little higher. So now we're going to do the same thing onto our left side. So let's go ahead and find the tree pose to our right leg, meaning keeping the right leg nice and tucked. And we're going to go ahead and create enough space between us and the wall where we can create that figure 7 shape with our body, with our bottom leg straight and having our hips square. So as you find that space for yourself, you can then go ahead and grab the strap, bring your knee up towards your chest, bring your strap onto the ankle bone, and go ahead and create that figure 7 stamp. Good. Nice and strong to the bottom leg, nice and straight. And as you lift up through the chest and through the crown, lifting up and forward, we're going to hug at the hips, engage the glutes here, engage the top of the quads, and very gently start to come forward, bringing your left hand as close as you can towards the left foot, or maybe even touching the toe. Making sure that the bottom leg is straight. It's very easy for us to start to bend here. I did it a couple times, but go ahead and send that hip crease back. And if this is starting to give you cramps, that might mean that you need to lower your leg a little bit, and that's okay. Over time, we'll find that practice here. Good. And so then, as you grab onto the toe or onto the strap, we're just going to take our eye gaze forward and then inhale, open up our right arm to the T. Three more breaths for a total of 5. Good. And then from here, I'm going to kind of switch sides a little bit so it's easier to see. So from here, as we find this figure 7, bottom leg straight, front leg straight, and we're coming hip hinging for our toe, we're going to go ahead and start to take our hand. If you're holding onto the strap, taking the right hand to as close to your foot or onto your toe, or actually, sorry, getting my things mixed up. We're going to take the left hand onto the strap as close as we can to the foot, and slowly start to walk our right foot out to the side and twist to the right side, so that if we're looking straight, our left leg is out to the side. And you can bring your hand as close to the strap or toe as you can, and then open up your right arm to the T. 3 breaths here. Good, and then very slowly start to square back with the legs. And then you go ahead and release the left leg and go ahead and sway your hips side to side. I usually mirror if I have a class like in front of me, so I always get my lefts and rights mixed up that way, so apologies for that. But go ahead and just kind of shake your hips side to side, take a drink of water if you need to. Especially with us who have tight hips, tight spines, tight hamstrings, this is difficult. Go ahead and shake it out. I would keep the wall nearby if you need to, maybe for a balance on our back. But let's try to go through this asana again without having to put our feet up on a wall, where we're using our hands and or strap. So I'm going to use the wall for myself today. And I'm going to go ahead and bend the right knee into the chest. And even though that we're using the wall, we still want to have that strong left leg to the ground and keeping the right foot flexed. So a nice strong quad is engaged because we need to strengthen the ankles too here. It's not just about the hamstrings. So as we start to bring the strap onto the ankle bone, we're going to go ahead and straighten the right leg to the front of the room. Good. And you can stay here. Bring your hands as close as you can to the right foot, maybe grabbing onto the right toe. So if you need to bend the knee a little bit to go ahead and do that, that's okay. As we have the front leg straight, bottom leg straight, lift it to the chest and bring your left arm to the T. Explore this for 3 breaths. How about 5 breaths? 2 more breaths for a challenge. Good. You can go ahead and slowly bend the knee in. And then you can open up your right knee to the side, and might be easier for us if we have the strap too. Good. We can open up the right leg to the side and then bring our left arm back to the T. If we can't grab onto our big toe, that's okay. This is an intermediate pose, so even just keeping the knee bent is totally okay here. For 3 more breaths. Good. And then we can bring the knee back in and exhale, release. So either knee bent or extended. We worked a lot through our hips today, so understandable if it's sore. I'm sore from my personal workouts. Now I'm going to go ahead and explore onto the opposite side. So use the wall if you need to, or use just your body to help challenge yourself. But this time we're going to make that strong connection onto our left foot. Good. Or, excuse me, onto our right foot and bringing our left knee up towards our chest. Good. And then we're going to go ahead and bring the strap onto our ankle bone. And we're going to go ahead and straighten out the left leg. You can either use the strap to keep it straight. If you wanted to go ahead and attempt to grab the big toe, you could go ahead and do so. Both of them is fine here. But nice straight spine, shoulders away from the ears, shoulders back and engaged. Engage the core, quads. 2 more breaths because we were already here for a few. Good. And then you can go ahead and keep the hands onto the strap, bring your arm to the T. And you can go ahead and open up to the sides here. Good. 5 breaths to challenge yourself. It's okay to grab onto the strap for now because, again, this is a hard pose. And you can go ahead and bring the leg back forward and bend through the knees. Woo. Go ahead and just sway your hips side to side. So eventually, if you can't grab on to the big toes, you will get there soon. It's a lot of hamstring work, a lot of opening through the spine too, so we can find those hip hinges. Hips to both the sides, forward and back, all range of motion. It's hard, but we'll get there. And if you are there, that's awesome. I just can't see from the other screen. So since we are close to the end of class, let's go ahead and meet ourselves back to the front of the mat. I really hope that those exercises helped and influenced you to deepen your practice. So let's go ahead and start to find our resting poses. Coming to the front of the mat, inhale into your Malasana pose. Getting all zened out over here. Palms are together. Lifting up through the spine, through the chest. Staying here for 3 breaths. Good. And then inhale, bringing your arms forward, engage the core, 3 breaths. Good, and very gently bringing your seat to the ground, keeping your arms above overhead, and bringing your spine to the mat. Inhale, bringing your arms above your head, walk your feet towards your glutes, and inhale, come into a bridge pose. Stay here for 5 breaths. Good, the exhale, slowly release. Straightening out your legs. Keep your arms above overhead. Walking your feet towards the right corner of the mat, keeping your hips to the center. And inhale, bring the top of your body towards the right side. You can grab onto your left arm as you're crisscrossing your left ankle over your right. And 3 more breaths. Next breath. Go ahead, inhale, bring the upper body back to the center. Lower legs to the center. Inhale, guide your upper body to the left side and lower body to the left, keeping that banana hammock shape going. Shoulders to the ground. 5 breaths. And next breath, inhale, come back to the center. Legs to the center, coming into our Shavasana. Inhale, bringing our arms above overhead and point the toes to the front of the mat. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. And then exhale through the mouth. And you can go ahead and allow your hands to rest wherever feels comfortable, and the legs wherever is comfortable for the next few moments. And then as we lie here in our Shavasana, quote that I picked from today's practice is by Mark Twain, and it's all about balance. That what is joy without sorrow? What is success without failure? What is a win without a loss? What is health without illness? And you have to experience each if you are to appreciate the other. And there's always going to be suffering. It's how you look at your suffering and how you deal with it that will help define you. So as we begin to find these micro movements from our toes and our ankles and our fingers and our wrists, it's allowing the energy that we gain from today's practice give us a new sense of awakening for our conscious state, reaping in the benefits of today's practice. As you start to take a deep inhale, bringing your arms above head and bringing your knees into your chest. Taking a deep inhale through the nose, and then exhale through the mouth. You very gently start to guide your knees either to the left or right side, and guide yourself into a comfortable seated position. And from here, you can go ahead and take your palms to the heart center and take a bow for yourselves and for everybody else that is sharing the space in the virtual world here today. We all miss climbing together. I especially miss having all of you in my classes and seeing you sporadically around town. And I hope that everybody is doing well tonight and everybody is safe. And thank you all for taking the best care for yourselves and taking the time to take care of yourselves today here on this mat. And to wish peace and health for the rest of your night. And namaste. Well, thank you very much for everybody that joined today's class, and especially a good job for a lot of us who experienced something new into their practice today. Big extended hand to big toe is definitely a pose that I tend to get into a battle with, and as well as a lot of people, for some deep hamstring and lower back opening and challenges. So I'm really glad to share that with you so that once you practice enough at home and we come back to class into the physical space, that you can show me what's up. Speaking of showing me what's up, if by chance you have any requests for any future classes, please feel free to message me on my personal Instagram account, and I'm going to go ahead and type it in to the comment area with the personal Instagram account. You it is the climbing stand Tosha is the same for my Gmail, so you can send me an email on any requests, like recommendations even, or just inquiries on what we have practice in our class today or throughout the week, or even just let me know like the fun recipes that you've been making at home during this time, any fun activities that you've been doing. Just please let me know how you are doing as well. I miss all of you like crazy, and I miss our fun conversations after class. It always feels so one-sided behind the screen unless you come and type and hang out with me. Oh, well, Sarge says you're welcome, Celeste. Yeah, yeah. So go ahead and please send me an email or send me a message on Instagram. And you're welcome, Ashley, too. Yeah, come and let me know how you are during this time. And I will see you next week. Let's enjoy the rest of the fitness classes for this weekend. I'll see you Tuesday. Bye.